France, 1764. Deep in the remote, misty mountains of the Gévaudan region, a terrifying shadow emerged from the dark forest. It was not a ghost, and it was not a myth. It was a very real, breathing nightmare that would plunge an entire nation into absolute terror. Over the next 3 years, this unknown apex predator would launch hundreds of brutal attacks, defying the greatest hunters in the world. History remembers it simply as the Beast of Gévaudan. But what exactly was this monster? Was it a surviving prehistoric giant, a genetically mutated wolf, or a trained killer hiding in the skin of a beast? Normal wolves are naturally afraid of humans. They stay in the shadows and hunt for survival. But the beast was different. Witnesses described an animal the size of a cow, with a wide chest, a long tail, and a reddish fur with a dark stripe down his back. Most chilling of all, the beast did not hunt sheep or cattle. It specifically targeted humans, ignoring the livestock entirely. Panic spread like a plague. Villagers stopped going into the forest. Children were kept behind locked, heavy wooden doors. The local hunters tried to track it down, but the beast was incredibly intelligent. It seemed to understand traps, completely avoiding poisoned bait and iron jaws. Whenever a hunting party got close, the beast vanished into the fog, moving across the rocky terrain with unnatural speed. Rumors began to spread among the terrified peasants. They said the monster was a demon, punishment sent from the heavens. But the reality was far more dangerous. The Beast of Gévaudan was a perfect killing machine, and its reign of terror had just begun. The news of the slaughter eventually reached the glittering halls of the Palace of Versailles. King Louis XV was furious. How could the most powerful nation in Europe be terrorized by a single animal? It was a national embarrassment. The king mobilized his elite royal troops, the dragoons, led by Captain Duhamel. They marched into the mountains, armed with muskets and bayonets. They organized massive hunts involving tens of thousands of local men, sweeping through the forests like a military operation. But the beast made fools of them all. It would attack in one village, and hours later strike in another town 20 miles away. Soldiers claimed they shot the beast at point-blank range. They saw the bullets hit, but the monster simply shook it off and escaped. This led to the most terrifying theory of all. Witnesses claimed the beast wore a thick, unnatural hide, almost like leather armor or heavy boots. Was it a wild animal or a monster equipped for war? The king replaced the soldiers with the best professional wolf hunters in France. Jean-Charles Denneval, a man who had killed over 1,000 wolves, arrived in Gévaudan. He was confident he was just an oversized, aggressive wolf. But after months of endless tracking, even the master hunter failed. The beast always stayed one step ahead, hunting in the rain and fog when musket powder was useless. The beast wasn't just surviving, it was adapting. He possessed a dark, twisted version of the alpha spirit. Finally, the king's personal gun-bearer, Francois Antoine, arrived. He tracked and killed a massive grey wolf, famously known as the Wolf of Chastel. The dead wolf was brought to Paris and displayed at the royal court. The king declared the nightmare over. But 2 months later, the screams in the mountains began again. The king had killed the wrong animal. The real beast was still out there. Let's look at the science behind the legend. Modern biologists have debated the true identity of the beast for centuries. The most likely biological explanation is a massive wolf-dog hybrid. Hybrids are incredibly dangerous because they lack the wild wolf's natural fear of humans. They combine the size and power of a wolf with the bold, unpredictable nature of a domestic dog. Another popular theory points to an exotic animal, like a young male lion or a hyena, brought to France by a wealthy aristocrat and released into the wild. The reddish fur, the strange tail, and the crushing bite force perfectly match the description of an African hyena. But there is a darker, much more sinister theory. What if the beast was not acting alone? Serial killers existed in the 18th century, just as they do today. Some historians believe a sadistic human used the animal as a weapon. This explains why the beast was seen wearing thick, crude leather armor and heavy boots to protect it from the villagers' pitchforks and bullets. It explains why the beast only targeted humans and completely ignored sheep. It was trained to kill. This theory turns a story about a wild predator into a chilling historical thriller about human darkness. We project our darkest fears onto the wolf, but often the real monsters are the ones walking on two legs. Whether it was a biological anomaly or a trained weapon, the beast was ultimately a master of its environment, ruling the dark woods with an iron grip. The terror finally ended in June 1767, 3 years after it began. The hero was not a royal soldier or a master hunter, but a local farmer named Jean Chastel. Chastel was a mysterious figure. Some say he knew the beast. Others say he simply knew the forest better than anyone else. According to the legend, Chastel sat calmly in the woods, reading his Bible. When the beast approached, he closed the beak, raised his musket, and fired. Legend claims he used a bullet made of silver, cast from a religious metal. This single moment birthed the global myth of the werewolf and the silver bullet. The shot was perfect. The beast fell. This time, it did not get back up. The reign of terror was finally over. When they examined the body, it was unlike any normal wolf. It was a massive, deformed creature with immense jaws. His body was paraded through the towns, but it soon rotted and was buried in an unknown location. Physical evidence was lost to history, but the legend of the Beast of Gévaudan survived. It became the ultimate cautionary tale about the untamed, unpredictable power of the wild. It teaches us that no matter how advanced our weapons or how high our walls, nature can always produce something we cannot control. The beast possessed the ultimate dark alpha spirit to challenge an entire kingdom in one, at least for a time. Today, the misty mountains of Gévaudan are quiet, but when the fog rolls in, you can almost feel the presence of the ultimate predator. What do we think the beast was? A surviving giant, an armored hybrid, or a myth born from fear? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for investigating shadows with Alpha Spirit. Stay curious, respect the wild, and subscribe for more true legends.